Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'll just let y'all know what I've been doing with my little bit of spare time that I have. Okay, so both children have been sick. Ife got better. It took her a while. She was sick for about 5 or 6 days. She's feeling better, and then Issa got sick with the vomiting. I believe it was Sunday. With the fever and vomiting and stomach ache and just severe fatigue. So he was sick on Monday, and then Monday night he got worse. The coughing got worse, and Jill took him to urgent care. And I think they gave him 2 steroids. They added a steroid to the nebulizer medicine. And then they gave him the steroid pill. Jill had to get the prescription filled for that. But he even after she got home with him and gave him the nebulizer and the pill, he just started coughing worse. And she called me and said, "Mom, I'm going to have to take him to the ER." So then she called back in about an hour. This was real late Monday night. She said that she gave him, she has these, there's some kind of menthol crystals. I think someone from Trinidad bought them for her, and bought them in Trinidad, and they had them and gave her some. So what it is, you dissolve them in boiling water, and then you breathe the steam. So she gave him, she did that procedure for him and let him breathe the menthol, and his coughing just stopped immediately. It was like a miracle. So that prevented him from having to go to the emergency room, which was awesome. So each day, he was a little bit better Tuesday and a little bit better yesterday, but she said she's still keeping him home today. So I have a couple of videos that I'm going to be uploading that I recorded earlier this in the week. But yesterday I got stuck on this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Now I'm obsessed with it, just fascinated with it. I feel like I'm wasting time sitting there watching it, but I just can't stop. It was so fascinating. I haven't heard her side of the story much, except for all the stuff that went on about it when she had that article published in the Washington Post and talking about his abuse. But to be honest with you, I don't believe her. I just don't. Johnny Depp just doesn't seem like the type of a man who would abuse a woman. I might be wrong. I don't know what the jury is going to decide, but if what she said about him is not true, then definitely she needs to be sued, because the things that she said has damaged his career. These Hollywood stars, their public persona and reputation is everything. That's how they make their money. No matter how good of an actor or actress they are, they're not going to get these high-paying roles if the movie producers think that they're not going to be able to sell tickets at the box office. I mean, they might get a role, but it's definitely not going to be paying the millions of dollars that, they could be bringing in for the movie studios. I don't know what's going to happen with Will Smith's career now that he did that craziness at the Oscars to bring shame on him and his career. But I watched the interrogation of Johnny Depp's sister, who's also the manager and I think the president of his production company. So it was just fascinating to hear how that works behind the scenes. Some of the things that go on, and there's so much that goes on, within the families and the family dynamics, and it was hard listening to her describe their life growing up with their mother being ill-tempered and abusive, and their father being real quiet and having a gentle spirit about him. But anyway, that's what I'm doing with my time now, is I feel like I'm wasting it. I feel like I always have to be doing something to be productive, and to just sit in that recliner and watch videos, and to watch that, it's a weird feeling, but I am enjoying it. But like I said, I haven't made a decision yet whether she's lying about it or what. Apparently Johnny was or is or has been addicted to prescription pain medicine and alcohol and cocaine. But hopefully he has put all of that behind him and hopefully got some treatment for it and recovery, and I'm hoping that he's clean now, because it's definitely no way to live your life, to have that monkey on your shoulder all the time, being addicted. It's just horrible. And it's horrible to be abused by your spouse. I can definitely relate to that, as John, towards the end is whenever your spouse or whoever it is that you're in a relationship with, whenever you're trying to get out of the relationship, is when the abuser gets much worse. And that's how it did in my relationship with John. He just started physically abusing me, choking me and ripping my clothes off. I would, try to go after the car keys so I could get in the car and leave and just get away from him before he choked me to death or killed me. And then he would fight me. He would grab me and tear my clothes off of me and hit me and slap me and choke me when I was just trying to get the keys to get away. I mean, one time the car was parked in the garage, and I jumped in and put the keys in the ignition, and as I was trying to back out, he grabbed the driver's door and opened it, and the door hit the side of the garage and tore it off. And that was a new little Maxima that we had bought when we were like a 87 or 88 when we lived in Tennessee. So the last time that happened in Tennessee, and then we ended up going from Tennessee back to Louisiana for a year. And things kind of calmed down then, because I was very sick with the thyroid disease. And he didn't work at all. So, and then the next job he got was in Illinois, and that's when I went to work for the attorney, and I filed for the divorce, and it was just turbulent during that whole time in Illinois when we were still living together, and I was, had filed for the divorce and was trying to get away, and I eventually just had to leave. I mean, I knew John would take care of the children. He loved the children, and I knew that he wouldn't neglect them or hurt them in any way. It was me that he was taking his anger and abuse out on. He didn't want the marriage to end, but he didn't want to stop drinking to make things better. So I ended up just leaving with just the clothes on my back and my purse. I mean, he just choked me and beat me up so badly one night. And I finally stopped calling the police, because I would call the police, they would arrest him, and then I would end up having to bail him out, because, I needed him either to watch the children so I could work, or for him to work. He would sober up enough during the day so that he could go make some sales calls. But then he would get drunk in the afternoon and come home drunk, and that's when the fighting would start. So I just had to leave one night and went to a shelter for battered women, and oh gosh, y'all, it was just awful. There were women, my bunkmate, her husband had beat her up and broke her arm. She had just come in to the shelter from the hospital with her arm in a cast. There were women who had definitely gone through a lot worse abuse than me. But whenever I left that shelter, I just found a little cheap apartment and just had to start over. I eventually did get back. I did have the keys to the house or the apartment so that I could go back in and get my clothes and things. But there was a period of time when I just had to leave for my life. Run for my life, basically. I know there are a lot of women here who have been through that kind of abuse. Y'all have talked about it in comments and emails to me, and I just want to say that I'm so sorry that you had to endure that type of domestic abuse also. But I know that you are a brave and strong woman to have overcome it and dealt with it mentally and physically. It is, once you get away from it physically, you still got the emotional and the mental scars from it. So, for you to be able to come out of it and still be sane, I really commend you for that. And I want you to know that I'm here for you, and you can email me or leave comments as much as you want to, and I definitely can relate and understand the plight that you've gone through in your life. And us women, we most of the times, not only do we have to leave for our own safety, but for the safety of our children. And it's not easy because most women, we've stayed home and didn't work full-time jobs, every day, every year on a regular basis like men do. And besides, we don't get paid the same in wages. So it's very difficult. And, a lot of us stay in it because of the economic reasons. So that's about all I have to say today. I'm going to be at Jill's in a few minutes, so I will have both children today. So thank you for watching, and just know that I love you and I do care about you. Please give me a thumbs up and share. And if you're new here, please subscribe and introduce yourself and join my YouTube family. You will be loved and accepted here. And y'all just keep on coming back.